Students, yes, okay students, I hope you all are back from a short break. So I'm going to start with the video 2, as I mentioned in the previous session, in the previous video. So video 2, I'm going to begin with your BBC. As you can see, yes, in your BBC I would like you all to open up, to go to your module 2, writing 1, which is articles given. Okay, and then now I'm going to be going over to your worksheet 67, that is the first worksheet itself. Now students, quickly, I know that I'm sure that you have done your articles in the previous session as well, in the previous class, 8th class. Okay, and now that you are in your 9th class, there's not much difference in the layout or in the format which we call. Of course, the difference is going to be in the content. You will be expected to write more, and you will be expected to write better in terms of language that you use. Okay, your vocabulary needs to be better, your sentence construction needs to be accurate, and certainly better than your previous class. So let's begin. Now, to begin with your format, as you can see, the format begins with a heading, the heading or the title, which needs to be very attractive and catchy. Okay, so that the viewer or the reader gets attracted to read your article. Second step is writing the byline, like as it is written over here in the example, by Rizwana Qureshi. Okay, so the name, either you can mention your name or the name, the question contains the names usually. Okay, now when you write your heading, in the very next line you're supposed to be writing the byline in the center as it is shown in this example. After writing the byline, then you will leave a line. So as you can see, for your convenience, I have drawn an arrow showing that you have to leave a line. Okay, now let's begin with the content. Now content basically has 3 parts, students. The first part of the content is, as you can see, third step here, that is the opening or the introduction, which will only be about of 2 to 3 sentences. Okay, so it depends upon what kind of opening. Either you can start an opening with a question or with a very good quotation or a proverb, depending upon the demand of the question. Now let's read the example here, what they have done. Now this article, did you know that less than 1% of the world's total fresh water is readily accessible for direct human usage? A world of over 7 billion and just a spoonful of water. Shocking, is it? Shocking, isn't it? So the topic, what we can understand here, it's about water consumption or water, saving water, or do not waste water. Okay, so related to the topic, see very how they have used a very attractive line or a catchy line. Okay, now the next part, of course, don't leave a sentence in between here. Okay, so we are going to carry on, but of course it is just to make you understand that you have try to begin your article starting with a very good introduction. Now after the introduction sentence, as you can see, it's just 1 or 2 sentences. Then we go to the main content part. Now that's the fourth step, development of the topic. It includes all major statements, their supporting ideas, along with examples, arguments, and evidence as required. So you need to have a very good idea. It is very good if you mention some figures, some realistic figures, if you are aware of the topic. Now I'll explain it to you. I'll read it. There are many reasons for this scarcity. Intensive urbanization, that means intensive urbanization means growing of population. Deforestation, water diversion, industrial farming, ever increasing global consumption, etc. Consequently, now this is one thing which you should absolutely use. These are called connectors. They give a very good impression to your article. So consequently, more than 1 billion people on earth lack access of fresh drinking water as per the UN study. 40% people live in countries where water is scarce. So this is what figures, or this is what percentage I'm talking about. If you have an idea about this, this also increases your chances of scoring good marks in your articles. The figure is expected to rise to 66% by 2050. Besides drinking water, kills 2.2 million a year in developing countries, most of the victims being children. So this is what. Now how do you get this kind of information, students? Yes, you need to listen to the news, you need to be very alert about your surroundings, or reading some, as it is reading some articles, or on Google. There are a lot of articles on Google, so if you start reading such things, your knowledge will expand actually. Okay, so now coming over to the fifth step, as you can see, that is winding up or coming to a conclusion. How to sum up your ideas, making a comment, criticism, or recommendation, or some sort of an advice. We must tackle the problem. So this is a kind of a solution the writer is giving. We must tackle a problem effectively by taking intensive measures like harvesting of rainwater and intelligent damming of river and other water bodies. We must conserve every drop that we can. Okay, now final concluding line. This is, yes, conclusion of course, but one last concluding line is also required. So what's the concluding line here? If we don't wake up to the imminent calamity now, imminent means the most problematic, calamity means, yes, of course, problem. Okay, problematic issue. Now I'm afraid it might just be too late. So this is how the concluding line is written. In the end, you don't need to do anything. Okay, so this is how the format of the article is, students. Okay, now along with this, I'm going to be attaching, this example will be there of course, and I'm going to be sending one more of practice question that I would like you to all solve it in your writing copies. I'll show you the example just now. Okay, students, now in your BBC, when you turn over to your next worksheet, you can see there are sample articles. See, you can see there's sample article 1, sample article 2 on worksheet 68, sample article 69 on worksheet 69, sample article 3, sample article 4. Okay, so these samples are very good and you must read them. They're total of 8 sample articles. Do read them, because you will get a very good idea about the vocabulary used, the kind of sentences which I'm talking about that you should use. Okay, so along with this, now you have practice exercise as well. So for the practice exercise, I would like you to solve the first topic in your BBC worksheet as well. So this is BBC worksheet 11. Okay, or else it's also the page number is 72. So this is your question, and I'm going to be sending the picture of this in your PDF file that is attached with this session. Okay, so this is what you have to solve in your copies. Solve it in your BBC only. Okay, so this is the end of the session today. Okay, students, now in the next session we are going to be doing, I'll be picking up the next poem, and then we'll also be covering perhaps one topic of your grammar I'll be doing. Okay, so I sum up this session here. So all of you stay safe, stay healthy, and please complete your work on time.